today we're going to cook a cheese omelette. So whether you want it for lunch or for dinner, we're just going to do this simple cheese omelette. You can add any ingredients you want, but we're just going to do a simple cheese one. I'm going to give you a demonstration of how to make it. It's really nice and easy. You don't need a lot of ingredients or equipment, and it should be quite a nice easy task for you to do. So to make this omelette, we're going to need 3 eggs. So we've got 3 nice eggs. Large eggs are quite nice if you like. Make sure they're in date. Okay, we've got 25 grams of grated cheese, and we've got a little bit of salt and pepper just to help with the flavour, and a tiny little bit of vegetable oil, or you could use a little, about 5 grams of butter if you'd like, but I find vegetable oil helps it cook a little bit easier. Okay, so that's your ingredients. Okay. The equipment you're going to need, again, not too much. So you're going to need a nice frying pan or an omelette pan, a bowl to whisk your eggs up in. So then we need a whisk, a plate to serve, and a palette knife or spatula to get your omelette out of the pan. Okay, you might need a grater if you're going to grate your cheese, but I've already grated mine to make it a little bit easier, so possibly a grater. So remember, before we start cooking and preparing food, we always need to wash our hands. Can we remember how long we wash our hands for? Going. That's right, 20 seconds. Good wash your hands, make sure you get in between all your fingers, around the backs and around your thumbs. Really good, nice hygiene, so good hygiene. Make sure all your equipment is clean, and make sure you've got a nice dry tea towel, because we're going to be cooking over the stove and the pan could get hot and we don't want to burn ourselves. Remember to make it a dry one. A wet one will conduct the heat, so a little bit of science there. It's going to conduct the heat and you're going to burn yourself, so make sure it's a nice dry one, and then you shouldn't burn your hands. Make sure your stove's on first, so if you've got an electric hob or a gas hob, make sure it's turned on. Not too high, so we've got a medium heat, so that's our low temperature, that's our high, so we're just turning it down to a medium in between. Okay, and again, if you've got an electric one, probably number 4 or number 5. Okay, so we're going to start warming our pan up. So pop your pan on the heat, ready, so it's getting nice and hot, and then we're going to whisk our eggs. First instruction, we're going to crack our eggs. So just on the side of the bowl, oops, carefully, just give it a tap, and then carefully pull it apart and put your egg into the bowl. Okay, and we're going to repeat that with the other 2. And if you're really clever, you can do it one-handed. So let's see if maybe you can do it one-handed. Want to watch? Okay, but that's just showing off. Okay, so remember, make sure we don't get any shell in the bowl, because obviously that's going to make the omelette a bit crunchy, and we don't really want any crunchy shell in there. Okay, so our next job, we're going to whisk these up. So get your whisk and give them a good whisk. Try not to drip it all everywhere like I am. So we're getting all the eggs together, really good whisk. Pinch of salt, a little bit of pepper, not too much because we don't want it to be too strong. Quick whisk again, and then we're ready to go to the pan. Okay, once your eggs have been whisked up, nicely beaten, we're going to get our pan nice and hot. A little bit of oil in the pan, not too much, just need a little bit. We're going to put a small pinch of pepper into our egg, just a small pinch, not too much, we don't want it to be overpowering. And a tiny little pinch of salt as well, so we'll put that into our egg as well, whisk it through. Okay, make sure the pan's nice and hot, and then we're going to pour our egg into the pan, and you should hear a sizzle. Once the egg's in the pan, we're just going to gently move it in and around, and it will start to set. And it'll look a little bit like scrambled egg.
Yeah.
And once it's starting to stick a little more and firm up, don't move it around too much once it starts to firm, because we don't want any holes. We are going to put our cheese, so our grated cheese in. Just spread that out a little bit, and don't worry if it still looks a little bit runny, because when you fold the omelette over, that will carry on cooking. So we're just going to release that from the sides, and hopefully we should set underneath. So you might find it easier with a fish slice just to get around the edges and fold that omelette in half. And you should have a slight golden brown colour to the omelette. Just let it sit for about 30 seconds, and that little bit of runny egg that's still left should cook, because the heat that's being enclosed from both sides of the omelette should set it. And then when it's ready, you should be able to pop it onto your plate, and your cheese omelette is ready to be eaten. Now you could serve that with a jacket potato, a nice crispy jacket potato, some chips, some salad, and my son likes these with baked beans.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's ready to go. And that is your cheese omelette. Nice, easy recipe. Enjoy.